future is not just exciting, but will also be different. How different will it be when it comes to working? Have you ever wondered how we acquire skills and earn a living in the years ahead? I invite Dr. Iris Pfeiffer, Director Research Institute of Vocational Education and Training, to take us a little through time and give us a glimpse on the future of work.
Thanks for the introduction. Yeah, I'm Iris Pfeiffer, Director of the FBB, which is the Research Institute of Vocational Education and Training in Nuremberg in Germany. And welcome to this session on the future of work. I want to give you an impression how federal programs support the complex transformation processes in Germany to shape our future of work. And thus, I'd like to introduce the Regional Centers for the Future AI in Germany to you. So what is the central idea of this program? We all know that digitization has a profound impact on our world of work. Digital technologies create new opportunities and growth prospects for businesses. Artificial intelligence and learning systems are introduced to the workplace increasingly, but the implementation processes are neither iterative nor linear. So introducing new technologies leads to changes in jobs and tasks, and it needs new competencies and qualification profiles. Especially small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, and their employees need support to master these challenges and the digitally driven evolution of the world of work. This is why the Federal Ministry of Labor and Social Affairs in Germany set up a funding program called the Centers for the Future AI. The regional centers for the future aim at generating and transferring knowledge on human-centered AI to the local economy and stakeholders in the labor market. The FBB, the company I'm in charge of, is responsible for 4 of those regional centers for the future. And one goal is to strengthen companies' competitiveness in times of change. So what we try to do is to support SMEs in introducing human-centered AI in a participatory and co-creative manner together with their employees. SMEs should be enabled to maintain and increase their performance and competitiveness in the major change process. So additionally, the Centers for the Future aim to impart methodological skills for designing these introductory processes of AI-based systems. Recommendations, guidelines, and tools of the focus group that are existing in Germany, which are called Artificial Intelligence in the World of Work and the Observatory AI in Work and Society, are being tested directly in companies by means of practical operational measures. So let me show you the basic outlines of the Federal Program Center for the Future. The program's first version started in 2019 with the focus on eastern parts of the country. In 2021, 7 more centers of the future have started their work. And as I said, the federal aim is to achieve nationwide coverage, that is to establish those centers for the future AI that operate across regional borders and reach small, medium-sized enterprises and employees in the whole country. So in most German regions, or as we call it, the Länder, a Center for the Future has started its work. Then there are some supra-regional centers, for example, the KWW, which you see on the map, which is a AI Knowledge and Further Education Center that is supporting the regional structures for the future by processing cross-national research knowledge, and information and awareness raising activities and AI systems. So for the last years, more than 34 million euros are available for those centers for the future AI until December 22, and then the whole program is part of the national AI strategy. So let's have a look at one concrete center for the future, especially the one in southern Germany that we're in charge of. And again, I want to repeat that the center focuses on the major topics of digitization and AI. In southern Germany, we do have a strong industry focus on automotive and mechanical engineering. So the Southern Center for the Future also, of course, focuses on that industry. But also self-employed persons and SMEs from other industries are welcome. The major topics for the industry at the moment are e-mobility, autonomous driving, integrated systems. So large changes are expected for the whole industry. We have several goals with that Center for the Future within the first funding period, which is first of all, to raise awareness on the importance of digital technologies and artificial intelligence in small and medium-sized enterprises. Second, we want to develop concepts for advising and training, which I will talk about later. And the third aspect is the networking to bring the companies together and to match competencies. So we do see ourselves as a driving force to support companies to see the potentials of AI and possible business models, and to understand those opportunities and maybe also the risks of AI, and to start a personal organizational change process. As I said, one of the major goals is the regional networking, and I just want to give you an example which organizations and stakeholders are involved in the process in our center in the southern Germany. And first of all, in addition to the federal funding that is available, we also have two state ministries supporting those centers for the future through funding. And then there is a cooperation with two of the largest training institutes, which are the BBW Group and the Bildungswerk. And we also cooperate with the Initiative for Applied AI in Munich. So as you can see, there are further partners. The logos are in German, but the logos represent the federal labor agencies, the trade unions. We have employer associations and industry associations that work together in these regional structures. Supporting access to small and medium-sized enterprises is one of the major challenges. So we need those partners to support us getting that access. All in all, we have a very powerful network set up with all the important stakeholders in the regions working together on supporting small and medium-sized enterprises on the topics of AI. In order to better understand the needs and requirements of companies with regard to digitization and AI, we started a company survey this year, and it's still running, but at the moment we have a small sample, like 90 companies that we can look at. And so the results are preliminary, but I want to give you a first insight. The answers show us some valuable insight, particularly for the automotive and mechanical engineering sectors. And as you can see, the results show that the use of AI is far less advanced than digitization in terms of business development. So for example, overall, 69.2% of the companies surveyed say that they do have a strategy for digitization, but only 43% of the companies have ever thought about artificial intelligence. The openness of companies to digitization is also evident in other responses. The first item on the chart, for example, shows that the majorities of SMEs tries to involve their employees in decisions regarding digitization. That further, in the second item, 42% state that they would like to increase their competitiveness through AI, and a large majority of the companies says that they have a positive attitude towards digitization. In contrast, AI applications are currently used at only 9% of the respondents, and a third of the companies are actually not planning on using AI in the future. So what do we do with those results? The results allow us to draw some conclusions for the design of consulting and qualification offerings. So consultation and training should be very specifically tailored to SMEs. The demand for such measures is considered to be significantly higher in this group than for larger corporations. Of course, trainings and consulting processes should reduce insecurities with regards to digitizations and AI. The myths and prejudices that often circulate can be eliminated through sound advice and training. That's what we're convinced of and what the results show. And they should actively accompany and support companies in the digital transformation. So the associated change process usually encompasses many areas of the company and affects many employees. So it is definitely helpful to have a competent partner at your side to provide support when questions arise. And this is what the centers are working on at the moment. All the trainings and consultings that are offered are cost-free for the companies. And the first step is to give an orientation in the buzzword jungle, you know, the agile and the AI, machine learning. Small, medium-sized companies just don't know much about it in the first step. Then we want to offer, or we do offer short trainings and webinars, for example, on topics like the introduction into AI or use of digital tools for work. And then the second step is to identify business development potentials. That is, our partner, Applied AI, for example, is developing a business game at the moment to foster the understanding on how AI affects business processes, reaching from HR to manufacturing. And this step includes, the third step includes in-depth consulting with tailored information and training offers. And this might include, for example, to support the company's change processes or matching the company's technological needs with the competencies of AI-focused startups in Germany or internationally. So in this way, we can offer a wide range of options that are made up of various and interconnected options. So first, we have the consulting or counseling area. We have the entry-level counseling with low threshold and precise fit. And we have in-depth as well the in-depth consulting, as I was talking about earlier. The next area is the training office. So we offer very basic trainings, introductions to AI, digitization in the HR, communication technology, and possible areas of application of existing AI solutions. And then we have different add-ons, for example, the digital leadership, digitization and AI and sustainability and supply chains, because of the challenges that the climate change brings with it. Big data may be another topic that is relevant at this area. And then we try to develop very innovative training formats with the gamification elements like escape rooms, just to make it easier for the companies to get into the area of AI. The AI simulation game I mentioned before. So to introduce AI systems into small, medium-sized enterprises, it is very challenging to give them an impression what AI means and how it changes their internal processes. So in that game, you can explore different roles, for example, be the employee, be part of the management board, or be a supplier, to understand what the possibilities of AI are for all these processes. And yeah, I said we do have a strong connection to innovative startups at the moment, so we try to link these solutions to the companies. And of course, our task also is to do some public relations and do workshops, roadshows, go to trade fairs and introduce this Center for the Future in Germany. So the goal is to reach a large number of SMEs and to show them the potentials of AI. Well, that's from my side. I wanted to give you an introduction, an impression to how federal programs support complex transformation processes in Germany. And thanks for your time.
Thank you, Iris, for this exciting outlook.